Jake Morrison walked across the metal floor of the spaceship bridge. His boots made small clicking sounds with each step. The Earth defense ship Valiant was quiet except for the soft hum of computers and the breathing of his crew. Outside the large windows, stars filled the black space like tiny diamonds scattered on dark cloth. "Commander Morrison, you need to see this," said Amy Carter from her seat at the communications desk. Her voice was tight with worry. Amy had been sending and receiving messages from space for 5 years. But Jake had never heard her sound like this before. Jake moved to stand behind her chair. On the screen in front of Amy, green letters spelled out words that made his stomach feel cold. The message was short, but it changed everything. To the humans of Earth, your planet will be destroyed in 72 hours. Surrender now or face complete elimination. This message has been sent to 47 worlds. 46 have already surrendered. You are the last. Jake read the message 3 times. Each time, the words stayed the same. His hands gripped the back of Amy's chair so hard his knuckles turned white. "Amy, is this real?" he asked. Amy nodded slowly. "I checked it 6 times, sir. The signal came from outside our solar system. The technology is way beyond anything we have. This is not a joke or a test." Captain Ryan Bell heard their voices and walked over from his command chair. Ryan was a big man with gray hair and kind eyes. He had been fighting in space for 20 years, but Jake saw something new in his face now. Fear. "What do we have?" Ryan asked. Jake pointed at the screen. Ryan read the message, and his face went pale. For a long moment, no one spoke. The only sounds were the computers humming and someone breathing too fast. "How many ships are coming?" Ryan asked. Amy typed on her keyboard. Numbers appeared on the screen. "Based on the signal strength and the data we can read, at least 200 ships, maybe more. Each one is bigger than anything we have ever built." Jake felt his heart beating fast in his chest. 200 alien ships against Earth's small defense fleet. It was impossible. Any smart person would know they could not win. But Jake Morrison was not just any person. He was human. And humans had one thing that aliens clearly did not understand. They never liked to sit around and wait to die. "Ryan, call everyone," Jake said. "Every ship captain, every base commander, every person who can fight. We need them all on the emergency channel in 1 hour." Ryan looked at Jake like he was crazy. "Jake, you read that message. 200 ships. We have maybe 30 ships total, and most of them are small. This is not a fight we can win." "Maybe not," Jake said. "But I am not going to sit here for 3 days waiting for them to blow up our planet." "Are you?" Amy turned in her chair to look at both men. Her brown eyes were wide, but Jake could see something growing in them. Not fear. Something else. Something that looked like hope. "Sir," Amy said, "I have been listening to space signals for years. I know how other worlds respond to threats like this. They send messages back and forth for weeks. They have meetings and debates. They ask for mercy and try to negotiate. And?" Jake asked. "And they all get destroyed anyway," Amy said. "But the message said we are different. We are the last world that has not surrendered. Maybe that means something." Ryan walked to the big window and looked out at the stars. Somewhere out there, alien ships were coming to kill everyone he had ever known. His wife lived on Earth. His 2 children went to school there. His parents were buried in the ground there. "You know what I think?" Ryan said without turning around. "I think these aliens have never met humans before. They think we are like all the other worlds they have destroyed. They think we will be scared and give up." Jake smiled for the first time since reading the message. They are about to learn something new about humans. Ryan turned back to face his crew. "Amy, send messages to every human ship in the solar system. Tell them to prepare for emergency orders. Tell them we have 72 hours to save our world." "What do I tell them we are going to do?" Amy asked. Jake looked at the alien message on the screen one more time. 46 worlds had already given up without a fight. The aliens expected humans to do the same thing. Tell them we are going to show these aliens what happens when they threaten Earth, Jake said. Tell them we are going to teach them that humans do not like to wait. Dr. Lisa Grant walked into the emergency meeting room carrying a tablet computer and a cup of coffee that had gone cold hours ago. Her red hair was messy, and her lab coat had stains on it. She had been working for 16 hours straight, but her green eyes were bright with excitement. Around the big table sat the most important people in Earth's defense. Captain Ryan Bell was there from the Valiant. General Matt Davis had flown in from Mars Colony, his uniform still dusty from the Red Planet. Admiral Kate Johnson appeared on the large screen from her ship near Jupiter. Her face looked tired, but her voice was strong. "Lisa, please tell me you have good news," Ryan said. Lisa put her tablet on the table and smiled. It was not a happy smile. It was the kind of smile scientists got when they had a crazy idea that might work. "I have news," Lisa said. "Whether it is good or not depends on how much you trust me and how crazy you are willing to be." General Davis leaned forward in his chair. Matt was a soldier who had fought in 3 wars. He had scars on his hands and a metal plate in his left leg. "Crazy is all we have left, Doc. What do you have?" Lisa touched her tablet and numbers appeared. On the wall screen, "The aliens are coming from the edge of our solar system. They will be here in 64 hours. Our ships are spread out everywhere. Some are near Mars with General Davis. Some are with Admiral Johnson near Jupiter. Most are here around Earth." "We know that already," Admiral Johnson said from the screen. "It takes days to get all our ships together in one place. We do not have days." "That is the problem everyone else would have," Lisa said. "But we are not. Everyone else. We are humans. And I think I found a way to make all our ships work together at the same time, no matter where they are." She touched the tablet again. A drawing appeared showing all the human ships connected by bright lines. "This is a real-time communication network," Lisa explained. "Every ship talks to every other ship instantly. No delay, no waiting for signals. To travel through space. If Admiral Johnson gives an order near Jupiter, General Davis will hear it on Mars at exactly the same moment." The room was quiet for a long time. Finally, Captain Bell spoke. "Lisa, that is impossible. Signals take time. To travel through space, it is a law of physics." Lisa's smile got bigger. "That is what everyone says. But 6 months ago, my team built a small test version. It worked for 10 minutes before it burned out. I think we can make a bigger one that will last long enough to coordinate one big attack." General Davis rubbed his chin. "What do you need?" "Every ship will need modifications to their communication systems. The work is dangerous. If we make a mistake, the ship's computers could be destroyed. If we make a big mistake, the ship could explode." Admiral Johnson's voice came through the speakers. "How long will these modifications take?" "If we work normal, hours with normal safety checks, about 2 weeks, Lisa said. "We do not have 2 weeks, Matt said. "I know," Lisa replied. "But if every engineer in the fleet works together, if we skip the safety checks, if we take risks that no one should ever take, we might finish in 36 hours. Ryan stood up and walked to the window. He could see Earth below them, blue and white and beautiful. Somewhere down there, children were playing in parks. People were falling in love. Families were eating dinner together. They had no idea that alien ships were coming to destroy everything. "You said this is dangerous," Ryan said without turning around. "How dangerous?" "Some ships might be destroyed during the modifications," Lisa admitted. "Some crews might die. But if we do nothing, everyone dies anyway." Admiral Johnson spoke from the screen. "I have 40 ships near Jupiter. My crews are good, but this sounds impossible." "Admiral," General Davis said, 3 days ago everyone said it was impossible for humans to ever build cities on Mars. Now, I live in one. Sometimes impossible just means no one has tried hard enough yet. Lisa opened a new file on her tablet. I have detailed instructions for every type of ship we have. My team has been working all night to make sure the modifications will work. But we need to start now. Every hour we wait makes it harder. Captain Bell turned back to the table. If we do this, if we modify all our ships, what happens then? Then we do something no alien army has ever seen before, Lisa said. We attack them from every direction at exactly the same time. 200 alien ships against 30 human ships sounds impossible. But 200 confused aliens against 30 humans who can coordinate perfectly might be a fair fight. General Davis laughed. It was a short, hard laugh. Fair fight? Doc, we are humans. We do not want fair fights. We want to win. Admiral Johnson nodded on the screen. My crews are ready to start. Send me those instructions. Captain Bell looked around the room. Are we really going to try this? We are not going to try, Lisa said, picking up her cold coffee. We are going to do it. Because humans do not like to wait around for death. We prefer to make death wait for us. Tony Brooks wiped sweat from his face and looked at the mess of wires and metal parts spread across the engine room floor. He had been the chief engineer on 3 different ships, but he had never tried to rebuild a communication system while the ship was flying through space. His hands were covered in small cuts from sharp metal edges, and his blue work uniform was black with oil stains. Hand me that power coupling, Tony said to his assistant, Pete Wilson. Pete was young and nervous, but his hands were steady when he worked with the delicate equipment. Tony, are you sure this will not blow up the ship? Pete asked as he passed a small metal device. Tony connected the coupling to a bundle of thick cables. Sparks flew for a moment, then stopped. Pete, I am not sure of anything anymore. But Dr. Grant says this will work, and she is smarter than both of us put together. All around the solar system, engineers were doing the same dangerous work. On the Mars Defense Station, engineer Carol Adams had been working for 20 hours. Without sleep. Her coffee mug sat empty beside a pile of broken circuit boards. Every few minutes, she had to stop and rest her shaking hands. Near Jupiter, Chief Engineer Dan Miller was trying to fit new equipment into a space that was too small. The communication array was twice the size of the old system, and he had to remove part of the ship's wall to make it fit. His crew worked around him, cutting metal and rewiring power systems. Dan, the power readings are getting too high, said. His assistant, Linda Hayes. She was watching numbers on a computer screen that kept climbing higher and higher. I know, Dan said without stopping his work. If we follow normal safety rules, we cannot finish in time. So we are not following normal safety rules. Captain Bell stood in the engine room of the Valiant, watching Tony work. The captain did not understand all the technical details, but he could see the danger. The new equipment was hot enough to burn skin, and electricity jumped between metal parts like tiny lightning. Tony, how much longer? Captain Bell asked. 6 more hours if everything goes right, Tony replied. 12 hours if we have problems. 24 hours if something explodes, and we have to start over. We do not have 24 hours, the captain said. I know, Tony said. He connected 2 more wires, and the whole system hummed with power. That is why we are not going to let anything explode. Dr. Grant's voice came through the ship's communication system. She was talking to all the engineers in the fleet at the same time. This is Dr. Grant. How is everyone doing? Mars Station here, Carol Adams said. Her voice sounded tired. We are halfway done. No explosions yet. Jupiter fleet reporting, Dan Miller said. We have had 2 small fires, but no major problems. We are making good progress. Earth fleet status, Tony said. The Valiant is 60% complete. Other ships are at different stages, but everyone is working. Dr. Grant's voice sounded pleased. Good work, everyone. Remember, we are not just building a communication system. We are building something that will let us fight as one big fleet instead of 30 small ships. On Mars, Carol stopped her work for a moment and looked out the station window. She could see the red planet below and the stars beyond. Somewhere, out there, alien ships were getting closer to Earth every hour. Her sister lived on Earth. Her 2 nephews went to school there. Dr. Grant, Carol said, what happens if this does not work? There was a long pause before Dr. Grant answered. Carol, I have been a scientist for 15 years. I have seen humans do impossible things over and over again. We flew to the stars when everyone said it could not be done. We built cities on Mars when everyone said humans could not live there. We always find a way. Near Jupiter, Dan Miller was connecting the last pieces of his communication array when something went wrong. Electricity arced across the metal components, and smoke began to pour from the control panel. Fire in the engine room. Linda shouted. Dan grabbed a fire extinguisher and sprayed white foam on the burning equipment. The fire went out, but the communication array was damaged. Status report, Dr. Grant's voice came through the speakers. We have a problem, Dan said. The array is damaged. We need to rebuild part of it. How long will that take? Dr. Grant asked. Dan examined the burned components. 4 hours if we are lucky. We do not have 4 hours. Captain Bell's voice joined the conversation. Then, we better get lucky, Dan said. He picked up his tools and started working again. Tony Brooks finished the last connection on the Valiant and stepped back. The communication array filled most of the engine room now, humming with power and covered in blinking lights. Tony, Pete said, it looks like something from a science fiction movie. Tony smiled for the first time in 20 hours. Pete, we are living in a science fiction movie. The difference is, we get to write the ending. Chris Parker sat in front of 6 computer screens, wearing headphones that covered both ears. For the past 12 hours, he had been listening to alien radio signals. The sounds were strange, like music played backwards, mixed with computer noises. But Chris was good at his job, and slowly he was starting to understand pieces of what the aliens were saying. I think I found something, Chris said to Lauren Mitchell, who was working at the desk next to him. Lauren was an intelligence officer who spoke 7 human languages. Now, she was trying to learn her first alien language. Lauren rolled her chair over to look at Chris's screens. What do you have? Chris pointed to lines of text that his computer had translated from the alien signals. These are command messages. Between their ships. Look at this one. Lauren read the green text on the screen. Advanced scouts report human fleet scattered and disorganized. No coordinated defense detected. Proceed with standard elimination pattern. Standard elimination pattern, Chris repeated. That means they have done this before, many times. And they always see the same thing. What do they always see? Lauren asked. Fear, Chris said. When they threaten a world, the people there panic. Ships run away. Defense fleets break apart. Everyone tries to save themselves instead of working together. Lauren understood immediately, but we are not doing that. No, we are not, Chris agreed. Our ships are moving closer together, not farther apart. We are getting more organized, not less organized. The aliens have never seen anything like this. Before, Captain Bell walked into the communication center carrying a cup of coffee and looking tired. He had not slept for 36 hours, but there was still work to do. What do we know about their plans? Captain Bell asked. Chris switched to a different screen. They are following something they call Pattern 7. It means they surround the planet with most of their ships, then send small groups to destroy any defense fleets that are far away. They think our scattered ships are easy targets, Lauren added. They plan to destroy General Davis's ships near Mars first, then Admiral Johnson's ships near Jupiter, then come after Earth. Captain Bell nodded slowly. What they do not know is that all our ships can now work together instantly. When they attack Mars, Jupiter will know about it immediately. When they attack Jupiter, Earth will be ready. Lauren had been working on something else while they talked. She turned her computer screen so the others could see it. I have been studying their communication patterns. I think I can send fake messages that look like they came from their own ships." "What kind of fake messages?" Chris asked. Lauren smiled. It was the kind of smile that meant trouble for someone. Messages that tell them humans are even more scared and disorganized than they think. Messages that say our ships are breaking down and our crews are giving up. Captain Bell set down his coffee cup. "You want to lie to them." "I want to make them overconfident," Lauren said. "Right now, they are being careful because they do not know much about humans. If they think we are weak and scared, they might make mistakes." Chris was already working on his computer, analyzing more alien signals. "Lauren, look at this. They have spy devices scattered around our solar system. Little robot ships that watch. U.S. and report back. What are the spy ships seeing?" Captain Bell asked. "Our ships moving into new positions," Chris said. "Engineers working on modifications. Lots of radio traffic between our fleets." Lauren thought for a moment. "We need to make all of that look like something else. Make it look like we are panicking and falling apart." She started typing commands into her computer. "I can send false reports from the spy ships. Reports that say our ship modifications are emergency repairs because our systems are failing. Reports that say our radio traffic is crews asking for permission to surrender." Captain Bell watched Lauren work. "Will the aliens believe fake reports from their own spy ships?" "They have conquered 46 worlds," Lauren said. "Every single time they saw the same thing: fear, panic, and surrender. They have no reason to think humans will be different." Chris took off his headphones and rubbed his ears. "There is something else. The aliens talk about humans like we are animals. They call us the small, loud creatures and the planet of noise. Makers, they think we are stupid." "Good," Lauren said. "Let them think that. Stupid enemies are easier to defeat than smart ones." She finished typing and pressed a button. Somewhere in space, alien spy ships began receiving false information about human activities. The lies were small but important. Human ships moving into attack positions became human ships fleeing in panic. Human crews working together became human crews fighting with each other. How long until they figure out we are lying to them?" "Captain," Bell asked. Lauren looked at the timer on her screen. They had 18 hours left before the alien fleet arrived at Earth. "They will figure it out when our ships start shooting at them," she said. "By then, it will be too late for them to change their plans." Chris put his headphones back on and returned to listening to alien communications. "Captain, they are talking about dividing their fleet. They want to attack all our positions at the same time." "Perfect," Captain Bell said. "Divided enemies are easier to defeat than united ones." Lauren sent another false report to the alien spy network. This one said that human ship crews were abandoning their posts and trying to escape in small shuttles. The aliens would learn the truth about humans soon enough. But for now, let them think they were fighting cowards instead of warriors. Admiral Kate Johnson stood on the bridge of her flagship near Jupiter, watching the countdown timer on the main screen. 12 hours and 37 minutes until the alien fleet reached Earth. But the aliens were not waiting. They were already moving to attack the scattered human ships, just like Lauren Mitchell had predicted. "Admiral, we have contacts," said Lieutenant Paul Green from the sensor station. 20 alien ships are heading straight for us. They will be here in 1 hour. Kate nodded calmly. The aliens thought they were attacking a small group of isolated human ships. They had no idea that every human ship in the solar system was connected and ready to fight as one fleet. "Signal all ships," Kate said. "Operation Thunder begins now." Far away near Mars, General Matt Davis received Kate's signal instantly through the new communication network. His 12 ships were hiding behind the red planet, waiting for this moment. "All Mars ships, this is General Davis," Matt said into his radio. "The aliens are attacking Admiral Johnson first, just like we planned. Begin flanking maneuver." Match ships moved out from behind Mars and started accelerating toward Earth. To any alien spy ships watching, it would look like the Mars fleet was running away from the battle. But they were actually moving to surround the alien fleet from. Behind near Earth, Commander Jake Morrison was coordinating the main defensive fleet. 28 human ships were spread out in what looked like a panic formation. The aliens would see scattered ships with no organization, no plan, and no hope. "Jake, the aliens are taking the bait," Dr. Lisa Grant said from her position at the Communication Control Center. "They are splitting their fleet into 3 groups, just like Chris and Lauren said they would." Jake smiled grimly. 46 worlds surrendered to these aliens because they fought the way the aliens expected. Time to show them what happens when someone fights differently. The first alien ships reached Admiral Johnson's position near Jupiter. They were huge, dark vessels that looked like metal spears pointed at human ships. Energy weapons began firing. Bright beams of light across space. "All ships, evasive maneuvers," Kate ordered. Her ships scattered and began moving in patterns that looked random, but were actually carefully planned. Every human pilot knew exactly where to go and when to turn. Alien ships tried to surround the human fleet, but the humans were too fast and too coordinated. When aliens fired at where a human ship had been, the ship was already somewhere else. When aliens moved to block an escape route, the humans had already changed direction. "Admiral, the alien ships are confused," Lieutenant Green reported. "They are firing at empty space and running into each other." Kate watched the battle on her screen. The aliens had been fighting for hundreds of years, but they had always fought enemies who were scared and disorganized. They had never fought enemies who could coordinate instantly across vast distances. "Time for Phase 2, Kate said. "All ships, begin attack pattern Delta." Every human ship near Jupiter turned at exactly the same moment and began attacking the alien fleet from a new direction. The aliens found themselves surrounded by enemies who seemed to know each other's thoughts at the same time. General Davis's ships from Mars reached the edge of the main alien fleet near Earth. The aliens thought. The Mars ships were running away, so they were not watching for an attack from behind. "Mars fleet, weapons free," General Davis ordered. 12 human ships opened fire on the rear of the alien formation. The aliens had never been attacked from behind before. Their shields and weapons were all pointed toward Earth, not toward Mars. Commander Jake Morrison watched as alien ships began to turn in confusion. Some were fighting Admiral Johnson near Jupiter. Some were being attacked by General Davis from behind. Some were still trying to attack Earth, but none of them were working together anymore. "All Earth ships, begin final approach," Jake ordered. 28 ships around Earth stopped running and scattered. Instead, they formed into a tight formation and flew straight at the alien fleet. The aliens expected the Earth ships to be weak and frightened. Instead, they found themselves facing determined human warriors who were not afraid to die. Captain Sam Rodriguez led the frontal assault with his ship, the Thunder. Sam had been a fighter pilot before he became a ship captain, and he flew his big ship like it was a small fighter. He twisted and turned between alien vessels, firing weapons and dodging return fire. "This is Rodriguez," Sam said over the radio. "These aliens fight like they are following a rulebook." Time to throw away the rulebook. The battle that the aliens expected to last 10 minutes had been going on for an hour. Their organized attack had become a confused mess. Human ships were everywhere, attacking from all directions, coordinating their movements in ways that should have been impossible. Dr. Grant watched the battle from her communication center, making sure all human ships could still talk to each other instantly. "Jake, the alien fleet is breaking apart. Some ships are trying to retreat." "Do not let them," Jake replied. "If even one alien ship escapes, they will tell their leaders that humans are dangerous. We need to end this completely." The aliens who had conquered 46 worlds without a real fight were learning what it meant to fight humans who refused to give up. The alien command ship was massive, bigger than 3 human ships put together. Its black hull was covered in weapon ports and communication arrays. Inside this ship, the alien commanders were trying to understand what had gone wrong with their perfect plan. Lieutenant Peter Brooks piloted his small fighter ship toward the alien command vessel. Peter was Tony Brooks's younger brother, and like Tony, he was good at solving problems that seemed impossible. Right now, his problem was getting inside an enemy ship that was designed to keep intruders out. "Peter, you are crazy," said his wingman. Pilot Nicole Adams. Nicole flew her fighter alongside Peter's ship, dodging alien weapon fire. "That ship has more guns than our entire fleet. That is why they will not expect us to fly straight at it," Peter replied. He pushed his ship's engines to maximum power and aimed directly at the alien command ship. The alien gunners were busy fighting the main human fleet. They were not watching for two small fighter ships flying toward their most important vessel. By the time they noticed Peter and Nicole, it was too late to stop them. Peter's ship crashed through the alien hull in a shower of metal and sparks. The small fighter punched a hole in the enemy ship's side and came to rest in what looked like a cargo bay. Peter and Nicole climbed out of their damaged fighters, wearing spacesuits and carrying human weapons. "Nice flying," Nicole said, checking her oxygen levels. "Now, how do we get out of here alive?" "First, we find their command center," Peter said. "Then we figure out how to escape." The inside of the alien ship was dark and cold. Strange symbols covered the walls, and the corridors were too tall for humans. Peter and Nicole moved carefully through the ship, following signs that looked like they might point toward important areas. Outside the alien command ship, the battle was getting worse for the aliens. Admiral Johnson's ships near Jupiter had destroyed half of the alien attack force there. General Davis's ships were cutting through the alien rear guard like a knife through paper. Commander Morrison's Earth fleet was holding the center and pushing. The aliens backed. Dr. Grant monitored the battle from her communication center, making sure all human ships stayed connected. "Jake, we are winning, but the aliens are trying to call for help." "What kind of help?" Jake asked while his ship fired at 3 alien vessels at once. "More ships," Lisa replied. "A lot more ships. If they get through to their main fleet, we will face 1,000 alien ships instead of 200. Jake understood immediately. "Peter, Nicole, can you hear me?" Peter's voice came through the radio with static and interference. "We are inside the alien command ship, looking for their communication center now. You need to stop them from calling for help," Jake said. "If more aliens come, we cannot win." Peter and Nicole had found what looked like the ship's command center. It was a large room filled with strange computers and control panels. Tall alien creatures with gray skin and 4 arms worked at the controls. The aliens had not noticed the 2 humans yet. "Nicole, can you read any of these symbols?" Peter whispered. Nicole studied the alien writing on the walls and control panels. "Some of it looks like the symbols Chris Parker showed us. That panel might be communications. That one might be weapons control." One of the aliens turned and saw the 2 humans. It made a sound like metal scraping against stone and reached for what looked like an alarm button. Peter shot it with his weapon before it could alert the others. "So much for sneaking around," Nicole said. She shot 2 more aliens while Peter ran toward the communication panel. The alien control systems were completely different from human technology. Instead of keyboards and screens, there were crystal formations and metal rods that hummed with energy. Peter had no idea how to operate any of it. "I cannot read this," Peter said. "It is too alien." "Then do not read it," Nicole replied while fighting off more alien crew members. "Break it." Peter smiled behind his helmet. Sometimes the best solution was the simplest one. He pulled out a small explosive charge that was meant for breaking through locked doors. He attached it to the main communication array and set the timer. "Nicole, we need to leave now," Peter said. They ran through the alien corridors while crew members chased them. Behind them, the explosive went off with a loud boom that shook the entire ship. All the lights went out, and emergency alarms began wailing. Peter, Nicole, report, came Jake's voice over the radio. Communication array destroyed, Peter replied. They cannot call for help anymore. Outside, the alien fleet was falling apart. Completely. Without orders from their command ship, alien vessels were fighting alone instead of together. Some tried to retreat. Some tried to surrender. Some kept fighting, but with no coordination. Captain Sam Rodriguez flew his ship through the confused alien formation, destroying enemy vessels that no longer knew what to do. This is Rodriguez. The aliens are breaking and running. Admiral Johnson's voice came through the communication network. All human ships, press the attack. Do not let any alien ship escape. The battle that was supposed to destroy humanity had become a complete victory for the human fleet. The aliens who had conquered. 46 worlds without a real fight had learned what it meant to fight humans who refused to accept defeat. Commander Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of the Valiant, watching the last alien ship disappear into the darkness of space. The battle was over. Burning pieces of alien vessels floated among the stars like broken toys. The fleet that had conquered. 46 worlds had been destroyed by 30 human ships working together. All human ships, report status, Jake said into his radio. Admiral Johnson here. Jupiter fleet is secure. We lost 2 ships, but the rest are operational. General Davis reporting. Mars fleet is intact. Minor damage to 3 vessels, but all crews are safe. Captain Rodriguez. Earth fleet ready for orders. We showed those aliens what humans can do. Jake felt a weight lift from his shoulders. For 3 days, he had carried the fear that Earth might be destroyed. Now that fear was gone, replaced by something new, Pride. Dr. Lisa Grant's voice came through the communication system. Jake, we are receiving signals from across the galaxy. Other worlds are asking what happened here. What are you telling them? Jake asked. The truth, Lisa replied. That humanity refused to surrender. That we fought back when everyone said it was impossible. That we won. On planets across the galaxy, beings who had lived under alien rule for years were hearing an impossible story. A world called Earth had been threatened with destruction. Instead of surrendering like all the others, the humans had fought. And somehow, impossibly, they had won. Peter Brooks and Nicole Adams had been rescued from the alien command ship before it exploded. They sat in the medical bay of the Valiant, tired but alive. Peter had a broken arm, and Nicole had burns on her hands, but they were both smiling. Peter, that was the stupidest thing I have ever seen anyone do, Tony Brooks said to his younger brother, flying straight into an alien warship with a tiny fighter. It worked, did it not? Peter replied. Sometimes stupid ideas work better than smart ones. Captain Bell walked into the medical bay carrying a tablet computer. His face was serious, but his eyes were bright with excitement. We are getting reports from intelligence networks across the galaxy, Captain Bell said. The aliens who attacked us were called the Dominion. They have ruled this part of space for 300 years. Had ruled, Nicole corrected. Past tense. Right. Captain Bell agreed. Because when news of their defeat reached their other fleets, something unexpected happened. The worlds they had conquered started fighting back. Jake joined them in the medical bay. He looked tired but satisfied. How many worlds are fighting? 12 so far, Captain Bell said. More every hour. The aliens always won because everyone was afraid of them. But you cannot be afraid of someone who just lost a fight to 30 human ships. Dr. Grant appeared on the medical bay screen, calling from her communications center. Jake, you need to hear this. We are receiving a message from something called the Galactic Council. What is the Galactic Council? Jake asked. A group of worlds that have been hiding from the Dominion for years, Lisa explained. They want to meet with us. They say humanity has done something that changes everything. Admiral Johnson's voice joined the conversation from her ship near Jupiter. Changes everything how? For 300 years, the Dominion has controlled this galaxy by fear, Lisa said. They would show up at a world, demand surrender, and get it. No one ever fought back successfully. Until today. Jake understood what that meant. We did not just save Earth. We showed everyone else that the aliens can be beaten. More than that, Captain Bell added. We showed them how to fight. The communication network Dr. Grant designed, the coordination tactics we use, the refusal to accept defeat. Other worlds are asking us to teach them. Chris Parker's voice came through the radio from the communications center. Commander Morrison, we are getting requests for help from 40 different worlds. They all want to know how humans fight. Jake looked around at his crew. 3 days ago, they had been facing extinction. Now they were being asked to help liberate an entire galaxy. It was almost too much to believe. What do we tell them? Admiral Johnson asked. Jake thought for a moment. He remembered the alien message that had started everything. The threat that humanity had 72 hours to surrender or die. The assumption that humans would be like all the other conquered species. We tell them the truth, Jake said finally. We tell them that humans do not like to wait around for death. We tell them that when someone threatens everything we care about, we fight back. And we tell them that anyone who wants to be free can learn to fight the same way. Across the galaxy, worlds that have been slaves for centuries were hearing about Earth and its impossible victory. They were learning that the Dominion could be defeated. They were discovering that freedom was possible if you were willing to fight for it. The aliens had made one fatal mistake. They had assumed that humans were like every other species they had conquered. They had never imagined meeting people who turned impossible odds into opportunities, who grew stronger under pressure, and who absolutely refused to wait patiently. For extinction, the galaxy would never be the same. And humanity was just getting started.